BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you. It is week 376. I'm your Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. And it is Labor Week, but it is also Thanksgiving month. And so what we thought we would do is something a little bit different and offer up something like a Thanksgiving offering. You know, when you're at the table and there is just like food all over the place, we thought we would all just dip into a different label, or maybe perhaps not a different label, but pick up that DVD release, that special release that we have been fond of for a very long time. In fact, maybe the type of DVD release that just blows away, much of what Blu-ray has to offer to us. Now, depending on what distribution company you go to and what you're getting, obviously there's some awesome stuff out there. But generally speaking, when a movie first arrives on Blu-ray, it pretty much arrives with nothing other than a few assorted 5-10 minute, clips of documentaries or whatever. Not even really full documentaries, but you know what I'm saying. So I figured, looking at my shelf, I've had this since probably about 6-7 years now. First arrived on the scene in 2004. Of course, it is the Ultimate Edition, the Anchor Bay release of Dawn of the Dead from 1978. Of course, George A. Romero, who unfortunately we all know passed away back in 2017. God rest his soul. And it's funny because on the extra disc, there are 4 discs in this, 3 alternate cuts, and of course one that has some documentaries, which you can see behind me. And I watched the 75-minute one last night, and just to kind of re-immerse myself a little. It's been a while since I've actually watched this movie, and it is a seminal classic. And there are 2 zombie films that stand neck to neck in terms of what is the greatest ever. George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead definitely is one of them, and perhaps Lucio Fulci's Zombie, right? But this is a stellar release, man, from back in 2004. And I picked this up. I'm going to open this up in case, just on the chance if any of you are unfamiliar with this release. Let me just show you real quick before I sort of get into it a little bit here. Look at this. Now, the extras disc is in. That's what you see behind me, but check that out. Now, I picked this up back in the day, about 6-7 years ago. This was one of those unbelievable finds. Now, I didn't think, I remember when I found it, or when I first saw it, for a measly $12 and change. I didn't think that a whole lot about it, I don't think. I mean, it was like, okay, $12 and change, it's Dawn of the Dead, I need it, I don't have it. This is the only copy that I have in my collection. And it is probably the best. Now, second sight release of the new 4K transfer blue is probably going to be pretty epic. But in terms of standard releases, I don't know if this is quite standard. I mean, you get the U.S. theatrical cut that, of course, George A. Romero released here in the U.S. in '79. The extended that was used at the Cannes Film Festival back in the day. And of course the European cut, which Dario Argento edited for European mass consumption. Right now, in the U.S. cut, on Romero's cut, there's a refined, finished Goblin score with some library music tracks integrated in. But on the European cut, there is actually more of Goblin in there. And then in the extended cut, I almost want to say there's probably more library tracks and stuff, more other music in there. Preferred version, I don't know. I mean, I haven't actually really sunk myself into either the extended or the European as much as the theatrical, the regular U.S. theatrical. So I would say for this review, the theatrical, George A. Romero's vision as he saw it and wanted it. But then is Argento's on how he perceives the film and cuts it down so it's more action, more horror. So Romero kind of likes to have that extra stuff in there, which is really cool. trying to think here. Anchor Bay, 2004. This is the release. Of late, I've looked up online, and this thing, it's funny, man. This thing goes anywhere from $100 to $300 on Amazon at the moment. I got a few like that. I don't think they're quite up that high, but like this is the value that we ought to place on finding things out in the wild. Now, anytime in there, that you go out in the wild, you're not guaranteed to come home with something. But there are those times, man, when you go out there to your favorite spots, your favorite hunting grounds, and it isn't terribly that long ago when I found Anchor Bay copy of or release of Cemetery Man for a measly $3-4 or whatever. I remember when I found Peter Jackson's Dead Alive on DVD, for like $8, I think. Out in the wild, and you go onto Amazon or eBay or whatever, these things aren't going for $8, or perhaps the Anchor Bay of Cemetery Man may even be out of print. Most likely, I would imagine it's out of print. But so these things, man, these things you can find out in the wild. Now, chances you're ever gonna find this? Well, I never thought I would find the Anchor Bay collector's edition of The Evil Dead on VHS out in the wild, but I did, and thus cemented my trilogy on the Anchor Bay VHS trilogy of The Evil Dead. So you can find these things out there. They are out there. You just got to be patient and knowing that anytime and every time you go out, we're not guaranteed to find anything, actually. And then there may be that one day you find that gem. So, not a lot to say about this. We all know this is this may be the definitive zombie film. Personal taste aside, you have to respect Romero's vision and the impact this film had, not just here, but man, in Europe. It really opens up the segue for Fulci's work in Zombie and everything that comes out after. So the influence of this is absolutely insane. And we know the story. Our heroes who are out there end up trapped at a mall. Of course, the context of the film or the message, of course, is we ought to really take a hard, long look at ourselves in terms of our attachment to the material and not be that attached. And so it is some serious messaging going on. Compliments of Romero, but he does that in all of his movies, right? That's why we love him, right? God rest his soul again. But the Anchor Bay 04, the Ultimate Edition, this is, nice, dirty box. It's, I don't see myself getting the Second Sight, although I'm telling you, if you didn't know about it, Second Sight, it's either out or it's coming out. I don't know. I'll probably just hold on to this as long as I have this for now. I don't know. But, Dawn of the Dead. So this week is really just about pulling something off our shelf, laying it out before you, telling you why we love it. And I'm telling you, as far as DVD releases goes, this blows the doors off of most regular Blu-ray releases, short of going Arrow or Second Sight or Scream Factory or any one of these distribution companies that we're well familiar with. I'm just saying the standard Blu that shows up in Walmart. There are plenty of DVDs on our shelf that just blow those Blu-ray releases away. I'm just thinking my copy of The Thing on DVD has more extras on there than, it's amazing what they can compact onto one DVD versus what they don't want to put on a Blu-ray. It's a little aggravating sometimes, especially in light of no commentaries or whatnot. And that's the thing with these 3 cuts, man, there are commentaries on every cut of the film. In terms of the extras on the last disc, you got the 75-minute one, you got this 92-minute documentary, and a few others you see behind me. But it's just a package deal. And it's the opportunity if you want to watch, Dario's his perceived vision of what it ought to be or how it should look in Europe versus the Cannes Film Festival that got to see an extended view of it, or just Romero's own refined, his director's final say cut of the film. It's good stuff, man, no matter how you look at it. So across the span of this week, we're gonna hear a lot from everyone in terms of, man, you really need to take a hard, long look at this specific release. DVDs, man, well, they may be our VHS today at the moment. they are well worth going after because, man, some of these extras, they don't always pass over to the new releases. Sometimes they just get left in the dustbin of older DVD releases. So, you know, it's wise to be out there in the wild and keep an eye open and see what is out there. And so you never know. You're out there, you never know. You may just by chance, hey, who's to say somebody's not going to take their copy and dump it off at some used by trade sell place. Now, it may only be on the shelf for 2 seconds, but it's there nonetheless. Probably. So anyway, so as we go through the rest of this week, this is what we're offering you with sort of a Thanksgiving bouquet. And as we roll on through November, just continue to plug on in each and every day. Abriel, joins us this week as a new Saturday guy. Of course, he's returning after a bit of a hiatus, and so we welcome him back with open arms on Saturdays. And so each and every day, man, whether it's Glenn or Jason or Chris or Lonnie and now Abriel and James, you know, we're all bringing something unique and different to the table each and every single day. So as we kind of roll out through November, we just appreciate all that you do and your support for BodyBags and what we try to offer you each and every day. And just continue to plug along. And man, we'll see you next time. We always leave these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.